Yeah, so Ryoko, do you have any questions about three turns that you would like to pose?
Yeah, so I try to do everything what you said, and then I thought I have been doing three turns for 40 years, I'm pretty good. But actually when I do the three turns, I found that sometimes on top of the three turns I'm touching a toe, or like making some kind of like loops here, or like get out and double line.
When we skated figures, we used to pay attention to all these sorts of things that you're talking about, and these would be not clean turns if we had the toe pick mark. Well, when we skated figures, we didn't have toe picks. Most of us, we got rid of our lower toe pick, so there was no danger of getting a toe pick mark on the ice, and it made the turns more easier because we could go right to the front of the blade. Just like for backwards turns, we would go right to the back of the blade to get over the turn. The spoon thing is yeah, I don't know if I have an answer for that as to why we do a spoon. It's kind of like instead of gliding in and then changing direction and gliding out, we're kind of gliding in and turning. It's when we turn on the ice rather than just changing direction that causes a spoon. I don't think it's the...
So in other words, that's I'm getting a flat to get into the turn.
So you have double line. You're saying that you get some flats going into the turn?
No, to get out. After I get out, tend to get the double line.
Yeah, just because of what I talked about. If you over-rotate the turn, take a shortcut on the second side, have an edge on the second side that's too straight, yeah, you can get flats. So that's evidence that you can look. If you got a double line, that means both edges were touching the ice, and that means you're on a flat. Judges aren't going to look at that from the side of the rink, but it is going to show up in your overall skating quality.
I should go to the top of the blade, just slightly behind the bottom
as
toe.
As far forward as you can go without touching the toe pick.
Okay.
Many things we do as far forward. If I'm doing crossover, I push. I point my toe on the end of my stroke, but not so much that the toe pick touches the ice. Yeah, sometimes I want to get rid of these toe picks and turn these into figure blades, because the toe picks get in the way in a lot of things, and they're a nuisance in many ways.
I'm working on clean three turn, especially left forward outside three turns, because I'm practicing double circle, and then I thought this is a key.
Yeah.
And maybe instead of flattening our inside edge, backward inside edge, if I can go deep inside edge, probably the rotations might be easier for the double
circle. Yeah, I definitely noticed this. My salchows are way better when I fill out that curve right after the turn. How you start your takeoff edge is very important, like I've said many times in the past. And if you do a three turn into your jump, the start of the takeoff edge is right after you turn. So if what you do right after the turn is straight and flat, you're setting yourself up for a difficult, awkward, ugly, inconsistent jump. You want a really nice, easy jump. You don't over-rotate. You rotate once you go airborne. You don't over-rotate on your three turn too much in advance. Too much advanced rotation is not good in figure skating.
I just brought these topics here because I know that our ISU has been talking about in the new communication, maybe they will ban the 2-foot circle takeoff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So then, like somebody who just learned from the straight 2 feet lines entry, and then like using upper body method, they might not gonna be able to fix the problem, you know?
Yeah,
so,
it's quite prevalent nowadays that, and coaches even, it's not like they get away with it, it's like many coaches even teach this method, these 2-footed takeoffs on salchows and loops. I think they should be downgraded personally. So yeah, I would be all in favor of the ISU. Well, especially since I have the classic 1-footed takeoff technique on my salchow. I don't, I don't go out to do a 2-foot takeoff on my salchow at all, or any of my jumps.
well, I'm not here.
Jump a little bit.
I'm not here to criticize the current technique. I'm talking about the young skaters and the coaches have to find the solutions how they can get rid of the over rotations when they have to go to the
how they can use the technique without. Yes, this will be a very important video for those of you who want to comply with the new ISU update, which involves doing your takeoff of your salchow without a 2-foot takeoff. Yeah, whether it's a mohawk or a 3-turn. Yeah, if it's a mohawk, you still want to start the edge on a nice curve.
Yeah.
You don't want to start it on a flat.
But like regardless, 3 turns or mohawk, like you mean that the inside, in and out, are the forward outside to backward inside. You want to make it symmetrical, right?
Symmetrical.
Right.
Yes. This is something that the judges looked for when they judged figures. Before figures were eliminated from figure skating, they looked for the symmetry of the turns. And that was a thing in itself back in the day when figures were judged in practice and everything. But it's not just that. It's if your 3 turns are not symmetrical, your technique is flawed, your jumps are not going to be as easy, it's going to be more of a struggle, you're going to tend to get in ugly positions and all of that. So yes, symmetrical 3 turns, pay attention to it, strive for doing symmetrical turns.
Thank you for sharing your experience and training in 60s, 70s?
Yeah,
80s?
well, we did figures. I skated in the 60s and 70s, did figures and 80s. Yeah. Yeah, well, you're welcome. So yeah, I know a lot of things about 3 turns, and now you know a lot about 3 turns. Maybe a few tips in there that you didn't already know about. Do you know how to subscribe?